serious population declines because of increasing development and habitat loss. To help these species, we collaborate with management agencies to restore native habitat and reintroduce burrowing owls, Pacific pocket mice, mountain yellow-legged frogs, and other local wildlife into protected areas.
Integrate wildlife health, care, science, and education to develop sustainable
change and fueling conservation around the globe. Our work is focused across 8 regions called conservation hubs, like the North America. So join us today for incredible stories.
In Savannah Conservation Hubs, where we protect leopards, lions, cheetahs, elephants, zebras, and a ton of other wildlife. So they are incredible cranes, and what they do is they forage for different insects and times in agricultural areas, and they eat all those bugs that could be pesky towards our crops. How amazing is that ecological role? So that name comes from the feathers on top of their head as she flies back over. Take a look at those trees. Now, you don't see cranes doing this. They are the only crane, and they have a special back toe that allows them to grip that branch. That's an adaptation for protecting yourself from those predators out there. So it actually takes one. Thanks a lot for that flight there. All right, we are going to defend themselves from predators like lions. So as she makes her way down here, take a look at the length of those quills, right? From cheetahs, from hyenas, from a bunch of different predators. And what you're gonna do is if you're things that might kind of deter me, right, Zoe?
That is exactly right. So what do we think is going to deter the predators? The quills. Yeah, good job. As you can see, she'll give us a little twirl and show us all those quills. Circle. She has quills mostly around her skirt, or what we would consider kind of the formal quills, right? Those really stiff hair structures. She can actually raise that skirt up of her body. So that's gonna make her very well protected from those predators. Can you show them all how you dig? Good job. So she is gonna eat roots and tubers and anything that she can dig up out of the ground. We're gonna set up a little foraging opportunity for her in this box right here. But those quills all have different purposes. She has her little mohawk over the top, make her look big and scary. The longer quills are her guard quills. That's like her whiskers for her back ends. She has actually some hollow quills around her tail that she can rattle like a rattlesnake. That sets off a pretty clear message. Don't come over and mess with me. And then of course the black and white striped quills are gonna be the power quills. Those are gonna do the damage. Now her quills are a little unique compared to other porcupines. Our local North American porcupine has microscopic barbs on the tips of their quills, actually stick into the skin of the predator. For Harley, she doesn't have those, but she's got a lot of nastiness. She's a beautiful girl, but she is not a clean girl. So while the quill might not stay in the face of the predator or the paw or whatever tries to go after her, that infectious nastiness definitely will. And so that's gonna leave a long-lasting message to that predator. I don't think you want to mess with her. Isn't that right, Jared?
That's right. So if all those things don't deter that predator, then they're going to get a pretty nasty mouthful of quills, right? Every single day in search for fruits. And they also forage in the treetops. Imagine these macaws flying 50 miles a day, eating these fruits, dropping those fruits to the ground, flying across the Amazon. And how big the Amazon is. They're incredibly important. They're known as seed dispersers. They disperse those seeds, grow that rainforest. It rains, and then we have jungle. Pretty amazing ecological role. So that color is also very special. Macaws can see in ultraviolet, just like other birds. Ultraviolet. We see in red, blue, green. Macaws see in millions of more hues than we do. So the Amazonia Conservation Hub has millions of different species of plants and animals. Now, from the treetops, we have the seed dispersers dropping those seeds to the ground, right? And then we have our wildlife that's a little lower in the canopy that might eat things like termites. And then we have different birds that might forage in the waterways and eat different krill. Now, they're all doing this very special ecological role here. So as you take a look at one of our macaws back here, this is exactly what they might be doing up in the treetops, taking their time. We're on bird time here, everyone, welcome. Treetops, they're gonna eat those delicious fruits and seeds and end up reforesting forests. Pretty amazing stuff. So the Amazon is an amazing ecosystem. Millions of species that are helping us every single day. Now there's a lot of ways that we can help the Amazon, and that's by, one of the things we can do is by buying bird-friendly coffee. Now, how many of us are, but coffee naturally grows underneath the canopy of trees. So if we buy bird-friendly coffee, if you look for coffee with like a Smithsonian label or Rainforest Alliance, it can confirm that you're buying the right stuff. Now these two here, as we're talking about the other birds in the Amazon, these are not baby flamingo, believe it or not. They look a lot like it. That's because they eat the same kind of carrots and turned orange. It's a real thing, it's carotenoids. So they are the same thing. They eat a lot of carotenoids, krill, and different sort of arthropods in the water. They're actually born white, believe it or not. Now, what is their ecosystem role? Because everybody has one, right? And they end up stirring up those things and growing those mangroves for us. Now, those mangroves protect us from rising sea levels. So imagine all these ecosystem roles that are working together to benefit us. Pretty awesome. Okay, this guy here, Tatis, our southern tamandua, loves bugs, especially termites. He's gonna eat 9,000 termites. Every termite mound on the ground or up in a tree. Have you ever seen those big bulbous things in a tree? Those are termites. They're gonna use those claws that can break through cement, smash open that termite mound, and they're gonna lap up hundreds of termites in one tongue lap. And that tongue is 16 inches long. That's the same size tongue as a giraffe. Can you believe that tongue fits in that little body? Amazing adaptation. And this is some of the stickiest stuff I've ever felt. And I know that because I wash his dishes at the end of the day, and it is tough. So he's gonna go up to these different mounds. He can eat 9,000 a day, or equivalent to that. And he's going to leave some behind. We have wildlife here working with the last one. They leave them, and then they scent mark their mound with the scent 4 times stronger than a skunk. So everyone in our front row, I'm so sorry. I'm just kidding, you're not on Splash Zone. He does not spray like a skunk here. But it is stinky stuff. He's gonna scent mark it, just like he did. I smell it here. He's gonna head back, and he's gonna look for some termites. The insect population has rebounded, and he's ready for more. So we have wildlife here taking care of the ecosystem role of keeping.
Vulture. Now, if you guys have seen movies that would rot and be all of that because they eat carrion, that's the dead stuff. I knew a thing or two about condor conservation and condor breeding, and we were able to apply that to the California condor and save that. A 10-foot wingspan. That's the biggest gal you're gonna find here at Bengal Animal Care, and she is just magnificent. Now, one thing you'll notice, both of our beautiful girls were very bald. That's that he covers both. This is Wiley, our white-nosed coati. Now, show of hands, no shame. Did anyone think that we stretched out a raccoon and painted it a different color? Just a little bit. So he is the cousin, the raccoon that we know and hopefully love. They are opportunistic scavengers, meaning anything they can eat, they will. So he was up in a tree, maybe he found an egg. Now he's hanging out on this little branch. Maybe he found a little lizard hanging out there. Steal some of those crustaceans that our ibis were eating. Maybe steal some of Tatis's bugs. But because Tatis left that scent behind, he knows not to eat them all. Look at that. He can even climb a tree and pull a gourd up from below. So that would be kind of like if there was a bird nest on a branch that was too light for him, he can hang on a bigger branch up top and grab that nest up and have himself a little omelet. This is my favorite part. Head first down a tree. It's to climb trees sometimes. Climb trees, do we go head first down or feet first down? As far as you can. Not very far, right? Like maybe 90 degrees if you've been doing your stretches. Wiley can rotate his ankle.
Largest owl found. Now, they have something prety special that no other bird has, and that's why they're such great predators. So I'm gonna have you take a listen here.
Take a listen, and you guys all said, ooh. So we can do one more flight, and we'll try again, see if you can hear anything, because owls have a superpower. They are capable of silent flight. So he's gonna do one more, let's all hold our breath. You guys had quite a few birds fly over your heads and they all made a loud noise. Nothing from our owl. Now I want everyone to take their hands, put it next to your ear, keep your feathers all zipped together. Wave that feather You hear stuff, right? You feel stuff. That is every other bird's feather. Open your softer flow as it goes against the wind. We call these guys the boogeymen of the mouse world because they are gonna just sneak up silently, grab their prey. Prey doesn't even know that they've been eaten until they're already in the tummy. So that is a pretty cool ability. Let's give it up for Mr. Hinckley, our Now, as you can hopefully see, the San Diego Zoo is creating that world where all life thrives, and never before has this been more important. As first responders in the field, we are there applying over a century of first-year knowledge in wildlife care, conservation science, medical expertise, and so much more. Conservation is at the heart of everything that we do, but we can't do it alone, can we?
That's right, we need dedicated allies like yourself, and just by coming into the Safari Park, just by being here, you are part of that comeback. So while we collaborate, innovate, and inspire to help people and wildlife live together for a healthy part of everything that we do. And we like to say, when wildlife thrives,